think he was tremendous. I think he came out with a great game plan.
Well, the one thing about Ryu, he's a pro. So.
Yeah, I think he was tremendous. I think he came out with a great game plan. You could tell that he felt good right from his bullpen warm-up before the game. I thought he was executing his fastball very well to both sides of the plate. I think his secondary stuff was really effective. So when you see him locating his changeup down and away to righties and also getting that cutter inside, I think those are keys for him to his success. And yesterday he had everything working. I thought he had a little more life on it. So that was good to see. And I think even the velocity he saw during the game, I think he was up as high as 94 miles an hour. To see him touching those low 90 numbers, I think is important. And it just shows that he's feeling good. And I think everything else, all of his secondary pitches fall into place because of that. We did. That was part of the plan going in. I think it's an effective pitch for him, especially because there's been a few starts where he's still kind of feeling out his changeup. So to have that slider complement the change is really important. And he got some swings from the right-handed hitters on the slider, as well as some lefties too down and away. So I think it's a pitch we'll incorporate more moving forward, and I think he's very comfortable with it. I think it's twofold. I think one reason is I think teams kind of know what he does. You know, they've seen him a little bit, and they understand what he's trying to do. So I think there were times when teams sat soft, and they looked for the off-speed stuff away from them. So I think that was part of it, and the other part was that I think his arm slot got a little low. Once he got back up to his good fastball arm slot, you start to see the better action on the changeup, and I think also incorporating his other pitches a little bit more takes the pressure off of that pitch. Well, there's a few things with him. I mean, obviously he found his arm slot. I mean, I know he battled that the last year or two prior. I think coming into spring training, he felt comfortable with his delivery. You know, tinkered a little bit early on, but I think once May and June rolled around, he got into a nice rhythm. Where I think he felt very comfortable every start. In between starts, the bullpens became more consistent, and he's just attacking the strike zone. He's not afraid to throw strikes and give up a solo homer, and I think that's why he's so effective. Getting ahead of hitters, he's strike one on a lot of guys, and he's forcing them to chase his slider out of the zone. Well, right now we're running those five out there, our five starters. So obviously we have a doubleheader coming up, and there'll be some opportunities to maybe move guys around a little bit according to the opposition projections, but. For the most part, we'll run with that rotation, and the guys are bouncing back great right now, and we hope that continues. Yeah, I mean, right now it's not so much about development, right? It's about winning games, and that's what we're trying to do. So the guys that are coming up, they might be a little less experienced, but we're expecting them to come in and do the job. And so far, you got guys like Pearson and Baker and Merriweather's on his way up. So these are guys that we hope give us big innings down the stretch, and they gain that valuable experience quickly.
Okay, and
yeah, he was he had thrown a tremendous game to that point. Obviously, it would have been great to send him back out for another inning. But I think because he did utilize that slider a little bit, he was just a little bit tender. And based on where we were at the game and where we were in the lineup, it seemed to make sense to make the change at that point. But typically we would probably push him through that inning, because he was throwing so well. But I think that was one of the deciding factors. Yeah, it was easy. Yeah, it was easy. Yeah, I mean, obviously we're watching guys closely. We have great relationships with our pitchers, and there's constant communication and good feedback from our medical staff. So it is a long season. It's a trying season. We've had some injuries along the way, obviously, and throughout baseball, coming off the 60-game schedule. So it's just something we're continuing to monitor, and talking to guys daily. And when we can give someone a day, we try to give them a day. Yeah, I think it was a relatively new pitch for him that he enjoyed throwing. So we just got to monitor it and make sure he uses it correctly. And obviously we need him out there pitching, so we don't want to overuse it. But we don't need the opposition to know that. You never know, right? But we'll use it accordingly, and it's an effective pitch for him. So.
Well, the one thing about Ryu, he's a pro, so he's gonna find a way to if he doesn't have it, to get it back. You know what I'm saying? And his last few outings, he's gotten that changeup back, and that's why he's done better. You know, a lot better. And again, there was one part of the season where he didn't have it, which was a struggle for him. You know, because that's his bread and butter, that changeup. You know, but then after working hard and looking at video and talking to Pete Walker, and he found it and he has it back, and that's why he's been pitching so well again. So that tells you everything about Ryu, how he makes an adjustment like that. Okay, that slider's working pretty well, so I'm not gonna go so much with the changeup. I'm gonna go with the slider, you know, and that's why he ended up with the type 4 iron, because he's not used to using it that much, but it worked out great the way he pitched against that good lineup. It is difficult to make an adjustment like that during the season, yeah, but again, it doesn't surprise me that Ryu's able to do it. Actually, they're all pitching well, which is great, which means we have a chance to win every game. And you know what I like about now? Whenever somebody's warming up for the game, that starter, the other 4 starters go and watch, which is pretty cool. The starting rotation gets along pretty well, and they're learning from each other, which is pretty good. Which goes back to your point that he's already using the slider and working, and now Ryu wanted to use it. That's cool. No, I'm the guy that I'm gonna be where I need to be, where I need to be there, which means I'm not worried about tomorrow or the next day. It's about today's game. And that's the mentality that I want all my players to have, which I think that's what they have. We're worried about tonight, not, you know, next week or whoever, you know, just tonight. Okay. Well, yesterday I didn't pull him out. He pulled himself out. That's just part of the game. Actually, I took him out just one time that it didn't work out great, which was in Seattle, you know, which I'm guessing that's what you guys are thinking about. You know, other than that, he goes the limit. Usually when the Dodgers, he never went 7 innings. He usually went 6, if you guys remember. With me, I let him go as far as he can. Just the one game in Seattle, we had Richards, who wasn't giving up a run in 8 games or whatever, came in to face a right-hander. Of course, he gave up a home run and stuff. But other than that, Ryu pitches as much as he can pitch. His work ethic, he does what it takes to compete, you know, and to be ready for the games. Dude, our stars are, for me, are better options right now than our bullpen. So they're gonna go as deep as they can, and that's what we have been doing. You know, like I'd rather cover 3 innings in a game than 4 innings out of the bullpen. So if our stars go 6 and 7 innings, that's great. We have a better chance to win. It all depends. You know, he might have 100 pitches, but there were easy 100 pitches, or he might have 80 something, but there were tough 80 pitches. So there's a difference. Yeah. So the decision. How easy he gets to that? How easy the pitches are to get to that point wherever he's at. Yeah. Oh no, I don't do it on my own. No, it's me and Pete Walker every game. We grind it out every pitch, every game. I listen to his opinion, and we do it together. Okay.